And Lee, pleasure talking to you. And I was wondering because obviously this is not your first horror film. It's been quite a journey for you in the past 20 years. I was wondering, what
Hmm.
would you say how much your personal relationship with horror changed or developed in the past 2 decades?
That's a great question because I think society's relationship to horror has changed. I remember when the first Saw movie that I wrote and James Wan directed, when we first released that in October 2004, the perception of horror was very different. I feel like it's
Mm,
uh, more respected now,
yes.
and not only on a business front where the studios are like, oh, we can really make money from this genre, but also on an artistic front. You
Mm.
see these varied filmmakers of all different, from all different corners of the globe, and not just men but women. Like a lot of different voices are making horror films, and I just seeing The Substance win a Golden Globe award last night. Like it's clear that
Oh
the
yeah,
perception around
yeah.
horror has changed. So I think for me, I already loved it. I didn't need any convincing, but my perception of it is now that I feel more comfortable being, out and proud about my horror movie love because it's not frowned upon. And you don't have to disguise it. There used to be a time when you had to say, like, you would pitch a movie and you would say, it's a dark thriller, which is just a way
Oh
of
yeah,
avoiding that term horror, like it's a dirty word.
exactly. Yes.
Nowadays, I don't feel like you have to avoid it anymore. You can just say, like, this is a horror movie. You know, let's not avoid that.
No, I remember that very well as well. Like 20 years ago, when I was like, I'm going to watch a horror film, so people were like, a horror film? It was like so niche, and now it's like, yeah, let's go.
Yes, exactly. It's been interesting to watch that change. It really has.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that James and I, I'm old enough now that I guess I can have a veteran's perspective. We were the young guys on the scene 20 years ago, but now we're the old guys on the scene, and older guys. And we, I'd like to think that James and I had something to do with where horror is at now. Like we were some of the people who were really dragging it into this, with Saw and with Insidious and all the things we've done. So
Oh yeah.
I'm proud of that. I'm proud of our contributions to the genre.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when it comes down to Wolfman, because obviously this is not the first Wolfman movie, but I was wondering for you as the director, what would you say has been like the main challenge in terms of delivering what people expect from a Wolfman movie, but also delivering what people don't expect from a Wolfman movie? Because obviously this is your version of it.
Yeah, I mean, you stated exactly the challenge. It's like serving both those people. It's a little bit of a balancing game. I feel like the best way to achieve the balance is to ignore the people in this camp. The people who want something from you and expect, it can be best to shut them out. And when I say them, I mean the voice in your head. The inner
Yeah,
critic.
yeah.
Because all those voices, whether it's critics or voices online, when you're writing a film, those voices are represented by a voice in your own head. I have an internet troll that lives in my brain, right? And he can be loud and say this isn't good. It's another manifestation of that inner critic. So I find it's best to just shut it out and just make the film that would make you happy. Like if I was seeing a Wolfman movie, what would I want to see? And it's when you get that specific, what tends to happen, I've found, is that you end up appealing to other people because we we
Mhm.
are all we are all the same in a lot of ways, and I feel like that's the best thing to do.